Hey, thank you for coming tonight. Gotta do that again. Hey, thank you for coming tonight. We weren't gonna have class. I'm thankful everybody came tonight. I want to get going on the simulation. I think that's important. And I do owe you week 8 off. We will not have anything week 8. Okay? Simulation quizzes. Not everybody completed them. I will say if you got a low grade, 10 people got 100 and 10 people got 90 on it. So if you did your work and went through the case and some of the instructions, the manual, you should have done well on that. The quizzes, somehow short answer questions got in there. I have to grade those. So I was surprised when I saw some lower grades on the first quiz, and then of course the second quiz everybody did well. And I don't know how those short answers got in there. I made a mistake, but I will correct them. Okay, for tonight, I want to review quickly. Here's our assignment schedule. I put the chapter quizzes in. I got 4 of them in the first 2 weeks, as well as the country manager quiz, just so we can get going on the simulation. I don't feel real good about having something on, you have to do something on pricing when you haven't had a chapter on pricing yet. So I put that in there. If we go down it, we have 3 major assignments in this, and it's all in the syllabus, but I'll go through them a little bit. The one I'm going to go through tonight more so is in the 26th, we'll have our first round due, and we'll also have a country manager market entry strategy analysis plan, and I've showed you that briefly, okay? Our next big assignment is 2 weeks later. It's the regional marketing plan, and then you'll have a final report due the last week, okay? And as you can see, I put no class for week 8. Our grading components, can we go down? So basically this is gonna, the quiz was worth 5%. Team contribution is going up to 10%, okay? We'll use a similar form. There is going to be, I sent out a country manager schedule, but I changed it. And what I decided to have is 2 team practice rounds with replay. So let's try to get the first one done before the end of this week, before next week's class, and then we'll do the second one the week after. What I'll do in class next week is I'll get with every group and I will go through your replay round or one of the rounds. I'll show you the reports you get on it and what affects what, and we'll go through all the financial reports that come with the simulation. Don't expect to make money in the first couple of years. You're not gonna. Go ahead.
So is the replay before the deadline, or is it after we've discussed?
There,
After you discuss it with us.
the replay, we'll start the replay next week's class.
Okay.
No. The replay you get to do. It's a choice if you want to do it, okay? All right? If you complete the game, and that'll save both for me, if you complete the first practice round, all you have to do is press advance, and it'll bring you to a point where you can replay the round, okay? What else about it? There's one more thing about the simulation. So there's our grading, though. All right, 5 quizzes, case studies, response to the questions. We'll just do 2 of them. Nothing doubling in the same week. I think week 8 you have to do case study questions as well as the final report. And there's what we're giving for each thing. Final results are based on 100%. There are a couple more videos or PowerPoints I'm going to show you on the simulation. One thing that's very hard to understand is how brand equity works. So we'll go through how brand equity works either next week or the week after, okay? And the more you put into it, the better your team's going to do. Let's close that out, man. All right, so let's open up
PowerPoints first.
Yeah, which one? The instruction and tips. Okay, these are in the briefcase. Everything to do with country manager is in the briefcase. The only thing I think we have in the modules is the Dropbox for the 3 assignments, right, Max? Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Max. You look more like a Max, maximum strength. So, all right, here's what we're looking at, all right? Following topics, it's interactive, hopefully it'll be engaging and team environment. Market entry, that's our first, which markets we're going to enter. I want to say one more thing about the practice round and replays. What I'm going to do is allow you to enter 3 countries. You can go into 3 countries in the practice round, all right, and the replays. Up to 3. You don't have to do 3 if you don't want to. The simulation won't let you do more than 3. When we enter, I'll talk about it a little bit, but we're going to be able to enter 3, and we want to look at each market's attractiveness and our potential. Is there a spot for us, and can we get that? Can we capture some of that market share? All right. The type of mode of entry. We're going to start out with local production. We're going to export to each of the countries. All right, and then we're going to move towards picking a manufacturing plant. All right, segmentation. So this is our segmentation, targeting, positioning. Which segments are we going to target in each of these countries? How are we going to position brands for the chosen segments? That has to do with what? Product, what products we're going to sell, what price we're going to sell them, place, which is what distribution. Are we going to go through hypermarkets? Are we going to go through drugstores? We're going to go through something else. And product, price, place, promotion. How are we going to advertise? Are we going to use sales promotion? Okay. Product management. Are we going to use one product in all the countries, or are we going to have local products? We're going to do different things in different countries. All right. Pricing. Advertising and promotion. Okay, so these are all the things we're going to be looking at. So we're turning you guys, after semester 1, we are now officially global marketers. And this is what is involved in global marketing. All right, last thing is distribution. So what are we going to distribute through? I think there's 4 alternatives on it. Okay? Your team's decisions, simulated, computer-based simulation. Nobody's competing against each other, although everybody gets a final score. Each team simulation is a benchmark simulation where you're competing against other teams that are not in this class. Okay? And everybody's going to have the same arrangement. We're going to do 8 simulated years. A couple weeks we're going to actually do 2 simulations, two periods. And what we'll do is during the weeks that we don't have the big assignments, do 1 of the 3 assignments due, okay? All right. Your team's primary goal is maximizing your overall cumulative contribution for the region. Cumulative contribution is how much you made over the 8 periods. And expect to lose money your first couple periods, okay? It takes a while to get a presence in a country. Secondary is, well, actually your primary goal is cumulative contribution. Brand equity is our second goal, all right? And we'll talk about brand equity. And the third one is actually your contribution in period 8. So I want to reward people that are moving towards, you haven't quite got there, but in the last period you had a good process. All right? And it's 40% of your grade or your score was based on overall cumulative contribution. Second, it's on brand equity, 40%. Those 2 are 40%. And then your 8th year contribution is 20%. All right? That's how we're going to do the scoring in this. Everybody scored the same way. Uh-oh. All right, this is a little tiny, but we're going to do a sequential entry, which they call a waterfall entry into the Asian region. We're not going to enter more than 1 country in any period. All right? So you can enter a country in period 1, you can enter a period 2. In fact, that first market entry strategy plan analysis, you're looking at entering you're going to select 2 countries and have a plan for each of those 2 countries. You could go into a third country in 3, but I'd wait. No, we're going to go into a third country in period 4 or 5, and you should enter at least 4 countries. Okay, you're not required. You have to enter at least 3, but you should enter at least 4. All right. I recommend that you don't go past 4, because you can add a third in period 4 and a fourth in period 5. And if you end up adding anything in 6, 7, or 8, it's going to be difficult to make a profit in those countries. All right? It takes a few years. We'll be exporting. After a while, we're going to have the opportunity to manufacture there. And I'm going to have an exercise for you that helps you decide if and where you'll be putting your manufacturing plant. It's all about where can I produce, where I get the product to where I need it, to the countries I need it at the lowest price. All right? All right, what else? We need a team leader. In fact, I got a team leader. All right? We're going to take a quick look at team leaders, and we can make changes in it right now or at any time. I'll show you what that is. At the start of game, everybody's got the same information. Whatever changes you make are only visible to your team, nobody else's team. And I won't share information from one team to another. So basically, we got 7 different simulations going on, and the common thing is everybody's going to get an overall score, and that's what your 10% of your grade is. I should have made it more. Okay? Here are some useful tips. Copy screens in Country Manager and paste them into a team discussion board. That helps. But we got the Google Hangouts, which helps too. You guys can go on the Google Hangouts at any time, can you? Yeah, that helps. And you don't have to have that. Paste them into a Word or Notepad, which you can add to your discussion boards or whatever. Copy screens and paste them in Excel. It's just, make sure everybody has the same information at the same time. All right? The team leader is the only person that can save decisions made. All right? So if you're not a team leader and you go in and make decisions for your team, you better know what you did if that's what your team's going to do. Because the team leader is the only one that can save the decisions and then advance to the next round. All right? Oh, we already got these useful tips. All right, that's that. Matt, let's go to the other one. And I'm going to talk about this assignment, but we'll go through it. We'll take 20 minutes at the beginning next class. That's the only 20 minutes we'll use in the next class, is going through this in more detail. You can start this now if you want. Everything is in, can we show them where it is in the briefcase? This is due week 3. Everything for Country Manager is right there. And let's see. This is a PowerPoint I just showed you. This is one I'm showing you. This is where you get your resources for the market entry strategy assignment. Can you just open it? So all these you're going to have to do. All right? They don't take long to do. Close that out. Geez, those things happen to be pretty much what I showed you. You're going to be making decisions on, right? So 3 to 4 page, double space. All right, there's all the margins and whatever. It's the roadmap of your first 3 rounds of the simulation. You're picking 2 countries to go into, one in round 1 and another one in round 2 or 3. Probably 2 is better. All right? The goal is to determine what strategy you want to set and how to implement. All right? What decisions you will need to make in order to best explore the opportunities of the Asian market. So it's a 3 to 4 page paper. All right. Organize your paper. There's 4 things you need to do in your paper. All right? First part, rationale for your team's choice, the first and second countries your team will enter. Okay? All these are going to be in your appendix. All right? They're Word documents. I showed you where they are. You fill them out. You put them in your appendix. The first rationale is based on you're completing a country attractive analysis sheet. It's going to help you decide what are the most important countries, or what are the most attractive countries where we can go in and make money and get market share. All right. Market segmentation and target strategies for the first and second countries. So now we got, here's where we're going, here's how we're going to segment, and here's how we're going to target. So segmenting has to do who are we going to try to sell, and targeting is going to be more on distribution channels, products I'm going to sell, how I'm going to advertise, okay? And it says mainly you're going to use B for most of that, okay? That's going to be B, your consumer preferences analysis sheet. When I talk about these, you guys took the quiz, you went through the case, you went through the manual. It showed you some of the things that are available on this. So when I say consumer preferences analysis sheet, you kind of might have a picture of what I'm talking about that's in the simulation, all right? But the analysis sheet I give you is going to ensure that you know what I'm talking about when you look at that data, all right? Third, currency exchange, and these are all for the first and second country you're going to enter. Remember, when you do pricing, you're going to be doing it in the foreign currency, all right? So we want to know, we want to have our exchange sheets. Pricing margin analysis sheet. So this is going to be what's our pricing and what discounts we're going to give. And I said, like I said, we'll spend 20 minutes next week going through all these. All these C through G have to do with our third thing, our positioning and marketing mix strategies. All right? So these are all C through G. Next one, what distribution channels we're going to use. Are we going to use drugstores? Are we going to use hypermarkets? Are we going to sell on the web? All right? We're going to do something on a Salesforce allocation analysis. So you have the opportunity to put salespeople in the marketplace too, to help promote your sales. And then there's going to be an advertising analysis template. So if we do all 6 of these first, then we work on 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. All right? And again, 3 to 4 pages of text, and then you should have all these as appendices. All right? Some of them, most of these sheets have like little templates that you fill out on them, but there's also some of them have a few questions that you answer also. And then the questions can be part of how you answer those 1, 2, and 3. Okay? More useful tips. We don't need them. Okay, that's that. So we're going to go to Country Manager. Let's open it up. Okay, let's go to Students. Let's go to Teams, Edit Teams, right there, yeah. So we're going to keep this up. And here's who the team leaders are right now. I don't know how Rebecca got it, but that's good. But we can change them. So what I'd like everybody to do is get into your groups and, no, that's not going to work. I'd like to, I want to get in groups in a central location, so if one group has a question, I can answer it for everybody. Does that make sense? Questions that come up?
Yeah, if it's possible.
Or why don't you do this? Why don't you get in your groups if you have a question, run it through Matt. Tell him you got a question for me. And then I'll go to your group and do that question. And at the same time, let me know if you want to change you can text Matt, or you can send a Matt message, Team 2 wants to change the meeting. Okay? And I thought all the videos were pretty good. A few were better than others. I think most of the peer evaluations were pretty good. A couple people got hit a little bit. And what else did I miss? That's it, right? Thank you for your work on those videos. I hope it was a fun and interesting project. What was amazing is we got some really good voices in this class. We had some really good voices. Okay, let's get in our groups.